Hello, welcome to tonight's video. It is the 15th day of December 2012. Normally the videos are about silver charts, gold charts, fiat and debt note currencies, but not today. And don't expect these type of videos to last as well either. Going to go over 5 different points in the video for NFL investing or gambling or whatever. I kind of feel investing and gambling is all in about the same. Number 1, trap game of the year. Number 2, that's a game for Sunday afternoon. 2, weather plays. 3, using psychology to put odds in your favor. Number 4, week 13, using the example of putting psychology for odds in your favor, and then using the example for this week. So let's get started with the trap game of the year, and that is to play Buffalo. Seattle's favored by 6, which is way too high. And Seattle won 58-0 last week, so when teams kick ass like this, basically, especially when they're an average team or above average, that's not good the next week. People start to think that these teams are immortal, and that's just way out of whack. 3-2 people are still betting on Seattle, so even though it's that high, people still like Seattle. Vegas basically cannot put a line like Pick'em or -1, because if they did that, that means they'd have a much larger amount of volume betting on Seattle. And if that's the case, if Seattle covers, then they would actually lose pretty decent. They want volume to be close so that they win on either side or they don't lose much if one side wins. So that's why the spread is higher. That's basically the reason why the system or the trap works well. Number 2, there's no place like home. Home teams have 11-2 records in games where Seattle's a home team this year. Yeah, Seattle's 6-0 at home and 2-5 on the road. So that's 11-2. I don't know how they've done in domes in the past, but they're going to Rogers Center this year, which is a dome. And well, early on they lost to Arizona. I don't know if that was outside or inside or not. Don't know if it's a retractable dome like it is in Toronto. The roof will be closed in Toronto though. And some of these players are going to the stadium for the very first time. Some are going to Canada for the first time on the Seattle Seahawks. They're also going to travel 3 time zones, west to east. Jet lag, that's kind of tough to do. Yeah, they're used to that. I'll give you that. But it's still very difficult to do. It could be a 1 o'clock game, and I wish it was, but it's a 4 o'clock game, but it's still travel. Buffalo's got a record of 3-3 at home this year, so that shows that a lot of times it's flipping a coin if they win a home game or not. They're playing against a really bad home team, a bad road team. Should that mean that Buffalo should be a small favorite? Maybe, but should that mean that they should be 6-point underdogs? I don't think so. Okay. Number 3, Buffalo lost its home favorites of greater than 3 points last week. They lost to 15-12 to the St. Louis Rams. So you combine this in, it's like 2 different storms colliding with each other. And because of that, that's when you lose big. Okay, coaches are like, okay, we got to do much, much better. And when you lose a game, you should win, that is. And then a lot of times you get better efforts. Now, of course, when the spread's 7 points or higher, that's when it's really good. At 3.5, as they were underdog, our favorites yesterday, it's not the greatest, but it's the psychology that, hey, we got to play better. And then when you have teams kicking ass like that, not only sometimes do the fans think they're immortal, but sometimes the players have that feeling. And I know that from firsthand example, when you feel you're immortal, that's when you're going to be doing bad. Okay, bad weather football. I got no games this week, but what I look for is extreme precipitation, winds, freezing cold temperatures, but there's nothing to go through. What you do is if there's cold weather, you try to see what the situation is for the week, how the player's going to handle it and such, and then make your decision based on that. If you see stuff like 60-mile-an-hour winds, 40-mile-an-hour, 50-mile-an-hour winds, field goals will be hard. Passing the ball will be hard. Go under 26 kind of deal. Okay, now let's go on the betting system. This is for any type of pool where everyone puts their bets into place, and then it all gets paid back to the winners or the combination of the winners, which is the example that's used on the Ontario Lottery Gambling Corporation or Gaming Corporation, something like that. So what you want to do, from my research, it seems, is that many people have a hard time placing underdogs to win. They always go favorites, 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 favorites. Oh, I got a 4-point dog in. Favorites, favorites, favorites. That just doesn't work. If you take a few upsets a week and go against the grain, when the masses love one side, then the payouts can be large and much better than standard parlays. To show you further, I'm going to show you the results of Week 13, where a few dogs won, as well as teams people were against, like the New York Football Jets right here. They won 17-6. As large favorites, moneyline minus 270. That means in Vegas, you got to risk 270 to win 100 profit. That's 1.37 times your wager. Okay. That you would get back. So therefore, when you have a lot of people trying to go Arizona because Tebow is not, like Tebow sucks now, and all of this Mark Sanchez being so bad, well, shouldn't 80, 75% be on the Jets and yet 60 or so? I mean, I'm definitely taking the Jets to win there. It was like New Orleans versus San Diego in early October when New Orleans was winless. Everyone wanted to go against New Orleans and play San Diego. Not me. Carolina, Kansas City, and then just you take a look at a bunch of these other games. Washington, what home underdogs are what I like to take the most. You have Washington as a home underdog, Baltimore won as an Pittsburgh won as an underdog. St. Louis beat San Francisco, but they were at home, and then you had Detroit against Indianapolis. Indianapolis beat Detroit. And then, of course, Kansas City. That was based on Kansas City only having one win and then going through a death within the weekend. Had you, of course, well, if everyone's playing Carolina, I got to get me on Kansas City, especially being at home. You got to take some dogs. I like to try to go for the majority of my dogs to be at home. So let's look at the odds here. There was two winners of 441,000. This is extremely amazing payout. Even if 3, 4, 5 people would have won, it would have been extremely amazing payouts. If you were to take the exact combination of winners in this particular week, given these prices, in a Vegas casino, online casino, what you do is you multiply the odds together to get your odds. These odds multiplied to 20,001. The bet is $5, so you multiply that by 5. They would have paid you 100,000, where you're getting 4.5 times higher than that in this situation, because everyone wants the favorites to win, or everyone was on one side, and you go on the other side. This is what's going to happen. I see all these people with these tickets where only the favorites win, pretty much, so a couple small dogs here and there. It's not going to cut it. Every single time there's a week where that's the case and not many big dogs win, the payouts are extremely low, where you might get back like $800 or $700 and that's it, whereas the odds would be something like $2,000 or $2,400 a normal casino would give, meaning odds are normally way against you because the vig or the juice is much higher with this company. But anyway, with that being said, it is very common to have these massive payouts when, of course, only a few underdogs, decent-sized underdogs exist. So this week, we have Green Bay and Chicago. I'm going to go in Chicago because the consensus is on Green Bay. They're at home. Easy pick. Easy pick. Same thing for Atlanta. It's another easy pick. Consensus loves the Giants. Atlanta's at home. Matt Ryan hardly ever loses at home. Easy pick. I'm not going to give you all the picks that I like. Cleveland, easy pick against Washington. Everyone likes Washington. Cleveland's at home. Maybe the better rookie running backs on Cleveland, and I don't know, but Alfred Morris is good, but RG3 didn't take a single first-team rep all week. Let's look at some other ones that are some decent picks to go along the way. I think Denver against Baltimore. I think it's just smart taking Denver, but if everyone's going Denver, then you got to take Baltimore kind of deal. I'm taking Denver in this particular situation, but I don't see major consensus for Denver either, though. Consensus is major for Detroit, and not many's picking Arizona, so what do you pick? Yeah, exactly. Although, if you think Arizona's just that bad, then maybe you want to go with Detroit anyway. That's the reason why. But no, if you go with Arizona, it's almost like taking last year Kansas City versus, who was that? Yeah, undefeated Green Bay. That individual cashed in about $1 million. He took the prize himself last year when that week came in. Carolina, San Diego. Cam Newton is on fire. Carolina is not. Again, Buffalo is definitely the play here. San Francisco and New England. I'm so going for San Francisco. I was on Houston to beat New England last week, so just put that together as well. But Aldon Smith is an amazing pass rusher. There's another good Smith a nose tackle, plus they got great linebackers, Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis. You can add in Colin Kaepernick playing very well. But if everyone's on New England, I'm just going to be want to be on the other side. And I think the same thing would be true for the New York Football Jets as well. And that's because the consensus is so much on Tennessee. Yeah, Sanchez sucks, but I mean, the defense can bail them out, and they have a few times already this year. So thank you for tuning into this weekend's pro football video, and take care. Bye-bye.